It's almost like they're intentionally trying to disrupt the balance at this point. They don't care. That's very problematic. We have to be aware of these things. These are injustices. We're talking about injustice as modern Muslims that are educated and aware and conscious, right? And we look outside, and we look abroad, or we look into certain communities and say, injustice, injustice, we have to fight, we have to do this, we have to do that. And good, and we should. And yet, the oppressor is oppressing us with our own clothing. The own food that we're eating is non-Tayyib. It's sourced from inappropriate and oppressive sources. It's not Mubarak. It doesn't nourish you. You eat and you feel heavy, you feel sick, and you have indigestion. That's inappropriate. Some people here, subhanAllah, they have a gluten intolerance, or they avoid bread because it makes them feel a certain way. They go overseas, all of a sudden they can have bread all week, and they have no pain. Is it bread? Should we have gone keto? Should they overseas go keto? The bread's fine there. There's something essentially tainted oftentimes in the sources of our healing and nourishment here. And we have to be aware of it. And looking at our own tradition, understanding that when we are in a crisis of this magnitude, it's back to the basics. It's back to the basics of how we sleep, how we eat, how we relate to one another, how we move. Are we moving? Are we connected to the natural world? The fitrah out there is the fitrah of Allah. Fitrat Allah fil khalq. Sunnat Allah fil khalq. The fitrah is the sunnah of Allah. We often talk about the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Using siwak, certain types of prayers, certain types of dress. He wore that nice shawl, and we know the exact way he used to wear the shawl, kind of wrapped it over one side, over his shoulder with a little bit of space here. Beautiful, we know the sunnah. But are we connecting with the sunnah of Allah? What's the sunnah of Allah? The movement of the sun and the moon, the circadian rhythm. Are we aligning the prayer times that used to be calculated and understood and tracked by the movement of the celestial bodies? Now we just check our app. See, there's fragmentation, there's dissociation from the real world and from real food. And this affects our capacity to be real and authentic people, embodied, hearts open, free to speak, free to love, free to fight, free to learn, free to share, free to serve. We get locked in our own nufus, our egos. Our egos are essentially fragmentations of our true self. So when we live out of sync with the natural order, we invariably are aligning with the nafs because it's already dissociated. That's the world of dissociation. You see? So it all connects with, our food connects with our psychology, and our psychology connects with our spirituality, and it's all one thing. Tawheed. Inna Allahu witrun yuhibbul witra. Allah Ta'ala is one, and He likes things that are at one. Oneness within themselves and oneness with Him, aligned with Him. Tawheed. We're not fragmenting, and our deen isn't fragment. You know, we are Muslim on Friday or Muslim in Ramadan, or no, it's like you're Muslim from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. What was the first thing that the Prophet ﷺ did when he woke up for Qiyam? It's in Bukhari. He would wake up, ﷺ, and he would step outside of his home, and he'd look out at the heavens. It's the first thing he did. He stepped outside into the natural world and looked up, and it's still nighttime. This is before the pre-dawn. And he looked up, and he repeated the ayah of the Quran. إِنَّ فِي خَلْقِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافِ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ لَآيَاتٍ لِأُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Verily, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, are signs for those of deep understanding. That's how he started his day. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Connecting with the natural order. The sunnah of Allah Ta'ala. The sunnah of the Prophet is to connect with the sunnah of Allah Ta'ala first thing in the morning. We're just peeling back a couple layers. We're just offering some insights, but this is traditional healing. This is the beginning of it.